right, good evening. It's 7 o'clock. Board is back in session. And go to item number 3, additions, corrections, or deletions to the board agenda, please.
Mr. Wooten, I feel 11A, which is the athletic handbook, it's a great document. It's something our coaches and our kids and parents rely and need. We do want to make some more improvements with it, so I would like to just pull that from the agenda, talk to our athletic directors a little bit more, talk to some board members a little bit more, and come back in September for an approval for that.
Okay.
So I'd like to remove 11A.
11A is removed.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Okay, with that change, recommend the Board of Education approve the agenda as presented. Motion, please.
Also move.
All right, Tim, second.
I'll second.
All right, Kevin. Any discussion? All right, roll call, please.
Mr. Dufault.
Yes.
Mr. Wallerman.
Yes.
Mr. Wells.
Yes.
Mr. Wooten.
Yes.
Mrs. Bennett.
Yes.
Motion approved. Item 4.
Mr. Wooten, as everyone knows, since March, we've been on great restrictions for public meetings. We've tried our best to engage our community, and so now we're under the 10-person limit still, but we want to be able to open it back up for our public, and we were prepared to entertain anybody if we would have came this evening. But in order to do that, we need to rescind. We have a resolution to rescind the motion that was passed some months ago that limited public participation. So that's what the item is on the agenda. I'm asking for approval so that we can now allow public participation again.
Okay, great. Motion, please.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
I'll second.
Tim? Just a quick question on that. We think it's probably for another couple months at least.
I anticipate,
Foreseeable future.
that's a great question. Thank you, Mr. Wooten. I anticipate us being under the 10-person limit for at least a few more months.
Okay.
That is the impression I'm getting.
Okay. All right. All right, thank you. Any other discussion items?
I mean, the only thing I would ask is, you know, even if you maintain 6-foot distance and a mask, we couldn't spread out in a bigger, I mean, there's no one here tonight, so I'm not going to beat that horse, but in future, if we needed to spread out 6 feet, mask could be used at different location.
I'll confirm with legal counsel.
Okay.
All right, roll call, please.
Mr. Wallerman.
Yes.
Mr. Wells.
Yes.
Mr. Wooten.
Yes.
Mrs. Bennett.
Yes.
Mr. Dufault.
Yes.
All right, so no public participation. Anybody want to report on committee reports or item 6?
We didn't have any committees, did
No
we?
committees, yep. If you want to make any, okay. Superintendent's report, item number 7, please.
Thank you so much. Well, this is the week that we work towards. It's the opening of school. Mr. Wooten and I had texted a few days back about how good it is just to see life on our campuses again, with cars and activities and teachers and so forth. It's really, really, really affirming. We've got professional development that we had lined up today. We have more tomorrow. Teachers, staff are working really, really hard. I won't take credit for this, but I heard someone say, if we begin our classrooms the same as we left them in March, then we will have failed. So, and I thought that resonated with me, that we need to begin to look at things differently. So I've challenged our staff, and it was part of today's discussions, is after what happened in the fourth quarter, I know I need to do what different. And I need to get better at what. And here's how I need to change. So I thought and I talked with some of the principals, the discussion was very good in that respect, because we do need to think about how we impart instruction differently. We also spent a great deal of time working on critical question number 1, and also beginning to look at critical question number 2. Critical question number 1, what do we want kids to be able to know and do? And so our curriculum writers, awesome, incredible job, created some great documents. Our board approved that in July. But that was in July, and we really have not seen each other for some time in terms of a staff as a whole. So we spent some time today at the grade level or subject level immersing themselves in the work of the curriculum writers. What does now this mean for my instruction? If I had a unit on my favorite topic before as a teacher, but now that's really not a part of the graded course of study, then that really needs to take a back seat to what the board has approved and what our curriculum writers have recommended. So we spent a lot of time today working on those items. And how are we going to assess mastery? You know, we're going to go to school as long as we can. We're going to try. We're going to try. But nobody knows what the next semester holds, much less the next couple of days. And And so we want to be ready for if we have to go to some different model, that we're definitely prepared, not just as a teacher, but as grade level buildings and as departments. So great discussion. Tomorrow is dedicated almost to totally to technology, putting some more tools in the toolbox of our teachers. And then Wednesday we continue the discussions and we get ready for students then. On Thursday, Friday, we have our staggered start. On Thursday, we have grades K2, 4, 6, 9, and 10. On Thursday, that's grades K2, 4, 6, 9, and 10. On Friday, we have grades 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 11, and 12. And then on Monday, the 24th, where everybody starts full time. We just learned on Saturday that the Ohio Department of Health put out a missive that shields are not an acceptable replacement for masks for students and staff. So we've let our staff know that, and our principals will let our principals will let our parents know that they need to make sure that kids have masks readily available for their use, unless they're under one of the few exceptions that Governor DeWine has outlined. So masks, no shield, and we're going to do the very best we can to work with our kids and our parents to make this work. We'll have extra masks available if someone would have to soil their mask or it becomes ripped or so forth or whatever. But we want to make this work because, again, we want to try to remove barriers to kids and teachers in the classroom. We don't want a kid not having a mask to be a barrier any more than I would want a kid who doesn't bring a pencil to class to be a barrier. You give the kid a pencil, you move on through the lesson. So same thing, kid doesn't have a mask for the bus, which they need to have. Bus drivers will have a supply of masks here, and then let's go. So anyway, just want to make sure the board was comfortable with that and so forth. And that's basically the extent of my comments. I do want to say one more thing about our remote learning option. I'm really happy our fall planning team helped craft these plans. We're, of course, Plan A is return full-time every day. But we also want to offer a remote option for our students and also staff members who may not feel safe returning to school for personal reasons. We're approaching just about 400 kids that have requested the remote option. It's amazingly, it's very evenly spaced out in terms of about 100 kids at the 2 elementaries, 100 at the middle school, about 100 at the high school for about 400 students. It works out well. We have right now staff to cover those numbers, and so we can offer that remote option. I do think it's worth mentioning that 400 students is not insignificant. That by 400 students going with remote option, almost daily now we're already operating at a little bit of a reduced capacity, which helps with our teachers in terms of being able to spread desks out and move kids out so we have good, adequate social distancing. So.
Well, at one point, that was the amount of an elementary.
Yeah, right. We've opened another school. That's right. We've opened another school. That's correct. 100% correct. So, I just wanted to update the board on those items. If there's any questions, be happy to entertain them.
How's the? I know it's challenging for teachers coming back and to everyone really. Just maybe about the energy. What do you sense just in what you witnessed so far? The teachers seem excited to be back in these challenging times overall? Or?
Yes, I think there's always a heightened excitement to return to school, but I think there's some nervousness involved. There's so much unknown, and we're trying to get answers as best we can. For example, tomorrow Governor DeWine will make an announcement at 2 o'clock, supposedly, regarding athletics and contact sports and so forth. But we started sports weeks ago. It's very, very late in the game. And then I just also learned that he's going to have a conference call at 4 o'clock for superintendents to talk about sports and schools opening. So it continues to evolve. It continues to be very fluid. And Rob, it's a great question. All we can do is emphasize we need to be flexible, be ready to pivot. Don't allow ourselves to get frustrated, person to person or as an organization. Sure. Because it's somewhat out of our some of this is out of our control. Mm-hmm. We can make it work as best we can for our staff and for our kids. Good. So I have individual sessions tomorrow with all the staff, and I'll be able to get a better feel also tomorrow.
Okay, great. Anyone else have any questions for Tracy for this report?
One thing that I've seen a lot of parents question, and even you see it in restaurants or whatever, is water fountains.
Mhm.
Our water fountains will be on to be used to refill bottles only, not to be used personally. Is that correct?
Yeah. So we've ordered the fittings to fit on water fountains that you can use to fit bottles. They're on. All the school systems are wanting the same thing right now.
Yeah.
So they're on back order, but we had them ordered. But they're not in place just yet. But in the meantime, our custodians who work the second shifts are coming in earlier. That's going to be a part of their rotation of cleaning, is to make sure they hit the water fountains regularly, because cleaning high-touch surfaces are are supposed to happen regularly in our school system. So it is underway, but they're not on campus yet.
But the fountain will be turned on for people to
Yes.
fill their bottles and we really don't want them to be drinking out of it to use their bottles.
Bottles would be just wonderful.
Tracy, can you just spend a second on the reason why we only have 10? We're still under a 10-person mandate in public meetings versus what we're having in our schools, right? So we're having these kids come back. This week, obviously, numbers are much bigger than 10 people.
Yes,
so can you just make sure the community knows? Obviously, we recognize there's a natural controversy there, right? It doesn't seem like it adds up, but nonetheless, I wanted you to maybe spend some time to talk through that.
And I wish I had a great answer, but I don't. And a lot of things that's taking place locally in the state, nationally in the world, doesn't make a lot of sense, because this is somewhat new for everything that we're going through. Attorney General David Yost put out the mandates for what public meetings can look like some months ago, and that is the law of Ohio. And so right now, his directives talk about public meetings, not school, not school. So the rule for public meetings is you're still under a 10-person in-person limit. I checked with our legal counsel just before this agenda went live, and that is still in play, is that 10-person limit.
Yeah, to the natural public, I think they would think there's a contradiction, right?
Just need to separate public meetings from schools.
Great. Okay. Good. Anyone else? You good? All right. Moving on to item number 8, OC contract.
Would like to present to the board for approval this evening our OC contract. The classified staff, they did a year rollover last year into this year, so it's already a year past due. It was a really great experience working together. Ms. Berkeley, our classified OC president, and her team and the district's team, we met for a total of 6 full days. It was 6 full days of negotiating, and we feel that the contract that's on the agenda for tonight is a fair contract for the district and also for our employees. And I'm asking if there's any questions, and if not, I would ask for approval.
Okay. Well, first of all, let's get a motion and a second. We can go to discussion if we can.
I'll make a motion.
All right, Kristen, thank you.
Second.
Second by Todd. Now we go to discussion. Any discussion at all on the OC contract as presented? Okay, James, roll call please.
All right, Mr. Wells,
Yes.
Mr. Wooten,
Yes.
Ms. Bennett,
Yes.
Mr. Duval,
Abstain.
Mr. Walden. Abstain.
All right, motion approved.
Thank you. The OPC staff did pass the contract recommendation unanimously, so this will put it into play for the next 3 years.
All right, thank you. Item number 9, human resource items.
Yeah, the consent part of the agenda is there's a number of items that are very small. We've had a few resignations. We're making our way through the RIF recall list. We had another former staff member decline recall. We're looking for a couple of long-term substitute teachers to help cover from staff who need to take some extended time for personal reasons. There's a classified substitute on the list to join the ranks of our substitutes. We can never have enough substitutes. And thinking positively, our athletic directors are getting track workers ready for the track meet this spring, and I appreciate that. We did approve fall supplementals at the last board meeting. We had some names that were still missing, so these are the remaining names that we didn't get approved last time for some fall and some year-long supplementals. We have some volunteers. For I think it's the 8th year now, we have a math coach that works with our math teachers. We contract with her for 20 days. And that is the extent of the HR consent agenda, asking for a discussion and then approval.
Okay, wonderful. All right, need a motion for items 9A through items A through I.
I'll make the
All
motion.
right, Todd, second.
I'll second it.
All right, Tim, thank you. Any discussion? All right, no discussion. Roll call, please.
Mr. Wooten?
Yes.
Mrs. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Dufault?
Yes.
Mr. Walden?
Yes.
Mr. Wells?
Yes.
All right, motion approved. All right, item number 10. Treasurer's report and action items here. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Wooten. The consent items I have to present to the board today be the minutes from our last regular meeting in July. Be the approval of the financial reports. I have the bank reconciliation, check listing, financial summary, and the treasurer's July report. The one thing I wanted to bring to everybody's attention on the July report is that we are starting to see dollars come from the state. Our second installment of the foundation settlement payment, we received our first installment, first of two installments of House Bill 164 dollars, and these dollars were basically requested from us and some school districts across the state to reimburse ourselves for revenue lost the past few years from the devaluation of the power plants, Beck, Jordan, and Zimmer plants. We will have a second payment, hopefully within the next couple of months. Nobody from the states got back to me about the second installment of House Bill 164. The next item, we had two donations, Burt Becker and Caitlin Gardner, to the high school band. We appreciate you for your donations. Thank you so much. The next item is the Market Street contract. I wanted to recommend to the board to accept the contract with Coney and Shepherd. I met with a couple of real estate agents and felt they would be the best to move forward with as far as getting rid of our Market Street property. A few of the reasons they're excited to put a big giant for sale sign on 52 and as well as the property. I was very impressed with their attention to detail. They asked lots of questions about the property. We were able to answer those questions. They felt like we could really make more than what we were anticipating with selling the property. If you look on the agreement, they felt very confident at setting the price at $585,000. I was also impressed with their vision on where they wanted to take Market Street. They've already contacted investors and people that they know are interested in properties like this, and there's quite a bit of interest there. We were also able to talk them down on the commission from 6% to 4%. So I'm really excited to start working with them. They also have an agent that lives in New Richmond that would be, she's currently in training. She would be, if there's any last minute showings, I just feel like it's a great opportunity for the district, and we could manage it as far as showings to anyone who's interested. The next item is the administrative contracted changes. These contract changes, these are from Mr. Miller's contract. His agreement currently states that one of his holidays is Veterans Day. We're going to switch that to Christmas Eve. And then his current language also states that he can't roll over any of his vacation days. So it was something that we need to change. So it's the amendments are his holiday and then rolling over, having the opportunity to roll over 10 days. I also have a contract agreement on here for K-12 business consulting. It's a contract for $6,500, and we're going to contract them out to do our 5-year forecast. What that gets us is 2 forecasts, the October and the May forecast. I feel like this would be a great opportunity for the district. I also feel like it'd be great for the district, mostly because of the constant changes in school finance at this particular time in history. No one seems to really know what's going on or what's going to happen tomorrow. But these companies really stay on top of the changes from the state and the Fed. I think it'd be a great opportunity for us. I have another item, the virtual conference. We do need a delegate and alternate. So it's something that I wanted to chat with you all, see if someone was interested in doing the virtual capital conference, which is going to be November 8th through the 10th. There's no registration fee at the moment, but was there any interest from the board at this time to be a delegate?
Chris, you're a champion.
Delegate.
Great. And any alternate? We're gonna do
Robert
it.
can do it.
I'll do alternate,
Or
sure.
Todd, Todd will.
Any answers on alternate? All right, thank you.
All right.
That's
Great.
it.
Thank you both so much. I have never participated in the Capital Conference, but I hear it's wonderful. It's great for all aspects, whether it's business operations, board members, financial services, teachers go to this conference. It's just all over the spectrum of just world of school.
I think the thing that mostly will be missed to me is the student showcase.
That's good.
So students go to that as well?
The schools will show, and it's a certain project or program the students are doing, and they go up and present.
Very neat. Very neat.
So it'd be kind of like our robotics club last year. They could have went up and presented a new program. So it's really nice for students.
So thank you both. And those were my consent items. I would really appreciate if the board would approve those 10A to G.
Okay, you heard the motion. Can I have a motion, please?
I'll make that move.
All right, thanks, Kevin.
I'll second it.
And Kristen, any discussion on those items?
I guess the only question I would have is how soon will Comey and Shepherd get signs up, and where's that process?
So they'd be able to get signs up in the property within the week. It's going to take a couple days to make the big sign that they plan on putting on 52. They're going to cement it with 4x4s, and it's just going to be enough.
So I guess they need to probably talk to ODOT or the village in regards to
Yeah,
something.
it's a byway, and they regulate the signs.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
So hopefully they know about that, or have I'm sure they
done it before.
I'm sure they know somebody. At least hopefully this wasn't all. Because that was one of my selling points. That I know the board was very interested in getting some. If anything, they'll have ones on the property.
All right. So I think we're there, right? All right, roll call, please.
Mrs. Bennett,
Yes.
Mr. Duval,
Yes.
Mr. Walden,
Yes.
Mr. Wells,
Yes.
Mr. Wooten.
Yes.
All right. An item that I don't need you to vote on would be the school bus routes. Unfortunately, at this time, with so much uncertainty with just everything involving school, we couldn't provide the board accurate routes for tonight's meeting, just due to the ever-changing information. However, next month, September's meeting, we do plan on putting those routes on for approval for the board meeting, as our enrollment's going to be. We're just going to know much more about who's going to need a ride to school. Whereas right now we don't even have all that information. From what I understand, people are still enrolling digitally. So, but that's what I just wanted to bring that all to your attention.
Okay.
I do have one question about that though. I was sitting here thinking about it. If the school bus routes are passed,
We'll make a motion first.
I think we're done. We don't need anything. We're good.
We don't.
Yeah, no vote on this.
Okay,
one.
we're done.
Sorry, Tom.
Yeah.
anyway, with the school bus routes being identified and voted on next month, I know the sign up for virtual is right, semester. It's possible it could change halfway through the year, right? So, I mean, we'll have to go through this all again, right? I would guess. I don't know.
So, I would want to look into that. I would want to assume yes, but I don't want to make an answer on an assumption.
Okay.
I know that bus routes change every once in a while. They vary just a little bit, even through the fiscal year, with increasing efficiency on routes and stuff. So I'll have to double check on that.
With it being over 400 kids coming back,
Right.
Oh yeah, definitely change.
that creates an issue.
We'll definitely have a response before the next time.
It might be shut down, but anyway, the lines. Call
Very
one
true.
up with that.
And just to add to that also, where are we then? Are we in limbo with our routes that are impractical? How does that, so if we have parents that say, well, if you haven't voted, who's going to transport my, have we thought about that as well? The impractical routes to those students. So if we're not going to vote, are we going to be, do we have to by law, since we did not vote on those impractical routes, who has to, where's that piece of it? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Are you talking about payment in lieu of transportation?
Yeah.
I think
So
that,
do we
because
pay-
we add them throughout the year, so I think we'll be able to maybe.
we can pay them in lieu of transportation?
And add it.
I believe the routes, aren't they based off of some, from your home school, if it's more than so many,
It's like 30 minutes.
30 minutes,
Yeah.
then those routes will not be created. Then any child that's impacted by that, they can apply for a payment in lieu of. And then we act on those as an individual.
So we can add those throughout.
Right.
So we may see some of those.
So it really doesn't
as well.
affect, and those routes should, well, I guess will not show up on here. If it's not a route we're gonna run, we should know that.
I know it's kind of an odd question on bus routes, but because, we're limiting how many students can be on a bus, that could eventually impact, I know we said no field trips, but athletic trips are considered field trips. So if athletics get to go ahead, are then we also going to reduce how many kids we're busing to events that maybe don't necessarily need to actually be on that bus because maybe they don't have a chance of playing or whatever.
Yeah, I like most school systems, I anticipate some more information being released from the state. But the answer is yes. We've already had started those discussions because building principals' field trip, their budget's been reduced by 10%. So those, even pre-COVID, those conversations have already started taking place in terms of who really needs to attend these away events.
I imagine, we're going to probably have subs for teachers that we're probably going to be very slim on. I would think that's also going to become the same for transportation. So the last thing we want to do is be calling in someone else to transport our kids, because then that whole tracing thing is.
Right, contact tracing.
Thank you.
All right, perfect. Anything else? Moving on to item number 11. Looks like we're going to move to
Yeah.
11.
Just 11B remote learning plan. With the passage of House Bill 164, the state wanted to make sure that school systems have greater accountability built into the remote learning plans. And that's what House Bill 164 requires all school systems to present these plans, submit them by August 21st. There is nothing new in this template. It's just putting it on the template that the state prefers. We took our remote learning plan and put the information onto this template. Again, the state is very concerned, for example, things such as attendance, and I understand that. So in school systems template, they need to describe how they're going to account for kids being present, not present, tardy in an online environment. And if you'll look back to our responsible restart plan, you'll see those items in there. If a kid signs in so many minutes late, they're tardy. If they miss so much of the day, they're absent. And that's why it's really important for our parents to understand, and we've asked the parents to sign off on a document stating that they understand this remote learning experience will be different than what the fourth quarter was like last year. There'll be times they'll be required to be online. There'll be some homework to do, and it'll be more structure to their day. So I'm asking for board approval for our remote learning plan. We'll submit this to the Ohio Department of Education, and then we will be compliant with House Bill 164.
Okay. Thank you. I need a motion, please.
I'll make a motion.
All right, Tim, second.
I'll second it.
Kevin, thank you. Any discussion? Any discussion, I should say. All right, roll call, please.
Mr. Duval.
Yes.
Mr. Walden.
Yes.
Mr. Wells.
Yes.
Mr. Wooten.
Yes.
Mrs. Bennett.
Yes.
Motion approved. Item 12, communication report. Ms. Sheila?
I want to step away from the microphone so I don't blow it out. Just want to point out, in case you haven't noticed it, or in case someone asks you for information about like our responsible restart plan or some other items, we have a COVID-19 tab on our website. And it has tons of information, so, and even for us for answering questions, the responsible restart document is just a treasure trove of good information and good guidelines on how we're starting the school year. We are developing and we'll have posted in some more obvious places soon a page for the Lions online. So some basic information of what's going on with the online program for them. That's still being developed. There's lots of things going on the website right now. Much of our focus is on internal communications. And I just want to say, I know you asked a little earlier about the enthusiasm level in the buildings. I went through the other day just snapping some photographs for our social media posts. And everyone I encountered was just very enthusiastic, but also extremely focused on protocols, cleaning-wise in one of the buildings. The custodial staff is bringing around the disinfecting bottles and telling them, okay, this is how you're going to use it, this is where we're going to store it. So much is going on in the buildings that in a normal school year would be happening, but also you have this just second and third layer of, okay, we need to do this. So I think there's lots of good stuff happening around. Great stories coming out. Don't know how long all this is going to last, but there's always something awesome happening.
Yep, good. Wonderful.
Thank you, Judy.
So Sheila, I just wanted to mention something today. I actually had a conversation with someone and they were talking about the pay to play for athletes, and they could not believe that it wasn't $20 anymore. They were not informed, whatever. So you knew me, I'm going to do my research. I went back and I found out where you sent it out in the February newsletter. It's right on the web page. It was on a Facebook post. So one, they can't say we're not communicating it, because we did multiple levels, and I know those emails go to anybody that's in our email list for the newsletter. So just thank you for that. It was kind of nice to be able to back it up with things, what we put out there.
Thank you for taking the time to do that. And that brings up another part of something that's important. I think, oh my gosh, our building principals are doing amazing stuff right now on social media. Have you seen it? They're doing all these video updates. But, I digress, I'm sorry. But all of our parents need to be getting that snap code information in there. Because Tracy likes to communicate by an email out. We send out our newsletters from the board meetings. We get out lots of good information is coming out via email. It ends up on our website too. So hopefully people will update their snap code data, because that's where we send out some really important information. I think especially during this time of pandemic, it's just, I can't overstate the value of that enough. And also make a habit of just visiting the website. If you can't do it once a day, maybe do it once a week for the district, for your school's, your child's building. There's just so much information out there available, and our buildings just did an amazing job. The principals and the staff is just lots of information there. Thank you for taking the time to help that person too.
You kind of chuckle when I get on social media and they're like, "Who's going to school when? What?" And I'm going, it's out there everywhere, folks. I'm sure all of you have probably seen it. I kind of want to say, how do you not know yet? But I mean, it's possible, but it's out there everywhere.
And we have to keep reminding ourselves that it is possible, and we just keep each day stay positive and just keep sharing the information, because it is
great to see
important.
all the building signs be very clear. These are the classes that are, the grades that are these days, and so the message is very consistent, and that I think makes all of us very happy.
Good, thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Judy.
Thank you, Mark.
Jill, thank you. And yeah, Kristen, your favorite part,
Motion.
item number 13, adjournment. She made the motion. Can I get a second?
You guys will see me.
All right, we can say that one, right? All right, Kevin. All right, roll call, please.
Mr. Wallren?
Yes.
Mr. Wells?
Yes.
Mr. Wooten?
Yes.
Mrs. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Duval?
All right, awesome. Thanks all for joining us this evening.
Thank you.
See you guys later.